Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Quirk. I'm a pediatrician and a run coach and the founder of Mindful Marathon, where I help make running easy and fun for busy professionals. And today I have a very, very special guest with me. She is a mom, wife, attorney, marathoner, lover of Disney, and has been a Mindful Marathon athlete for over 2 years now. Jaime Vining, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I probably forgot a few things
No,
in
all
that.
the things. We all,
All,
we know women, we wear all the hats. We do it all.
you do wear a lot of hats. Well, tell us, maybe, I mean, we could start in a million places, but tell us about your journey maybe to the first marathon, and then we'll kind of fast forward.
Wow. So I signed up for Dopey 2023, go
Mhm.
big or go home, right? So for those of you who don't know what Dopey is, right? It's the challenge. It's a 4-day challenge through Run Disney. So the 5K, and then you wake up really early the next day and then you run 10K, and then the next day is a half marathon and then the full marathon. And I had never run anything longer than I think 13 or 14 miles when I signed up. So fear was a big motivator when it came to training, right? And it felt like, I remember telling you that every week felt like a science experiment because every week was something new, right? I'd never run 14 miles, I'd never run 15 miles, and every week it just got progressively longer. But it was such an amazing experience. And I'm one of those people that I really like things. I like schedules. I like calendar entries. I like, continuity. And so, every week you would give me a list of these days you're going to run and these are the miles you're going to run. And it was very organized for my very type A personality. And then we got there, right? You run a couple simulations and you think, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to run 20 miles. And then that somehow is going to translate into 26.2 miles. And over the course of 4 days becomes 48, what is it, 48.6 miles. So
It's a
yeah,
long way.
it's a long way. It was a long way. But it was such an amazing experience that I turned around and said, we're going to do it again.
Well, I think it only took you, I don't remember how long, perhaps 12 hours. I received a message like the next morning from Jaime saying like, that was so much fun, let's do it again. It's like,
Right.
oh no.
Didn't I try to sign up for another one like a
Yep.
few months later too? And you were like, well, that's an interesting idea, but maybe we just put a pin in that and we think about why we want to run another one so soon. So you're right, having a nice little break, until the next one is good. I'm not, and my strong suit is not relaxing or resting. It's one of those things that has to be kind of forced upon you. It was one of those things that we talked about the other day about how if you don't pick a day to rest, your body will pick one for you. Well, that's, pretty accurate. So
Yeah.
something I'm working on. I'm working on resting.
We're all working on that. I think that most, I'll just speak for myself, but I imagine that most of the listeners we're very good at doing a lot of things, all of the things, and taking time to rest and for ourselves. It feels like there's no time for that.
No, no. And also you feel like when you're sitting there, it's kind of like I've tried meditation. I'm not very good at it, but I have tried it. But I sit during meditation and they're like, oh, focus on a color, focus on your breathing. And all I can focus on is the grocery list and all the other 10 million things I need to do. And, ooh, where do I want to run tomorrow? And it's like, wait, no, that's not what we're supposed to be thinking about. Come back to meditation. That's how I
That's
feel the best.
perfectly normal.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So we need to practice more of that. But yeah.
Yes, yes. So now that was okay, that was January 2023. And
Right.
now, okay, we'll fast forward, but you are about to embark on your fourth marathon.
Yeah, it escalated real fast. We went from Disney, which seemed like a lot of miles, but like low pressure, right? You're at Disney World, you
Mhm,
stop, you visit the characters along the way to Chicago,
mhm.
which was my first world major last October. The experiences could not have been any more different, right? Right before Chicago, what's like 2 weeks beforehand, I came down with COVID
During the taper. Yeah, yeah.
during the
That was
taper.
Mm.
All I remember is you saying, the hay is in the barn. The hay is in the barn. Like, you've done the work, you're okay. And I'm thinking, I'm going to die. COVID is going to kill me. And then I got to go run a marathon. So do not strongly advise. I mean, do
No.
not strongly recommend that, like 0 stars running after COVID. But I did it, and I got my star, and we moved on.
Yeah.
And that was October of 2023. And then we ran Dopey because it was so much fun. We did it again this past January. And it was still a really great experience. Also, again, kind of low key, low pressure, doesn't feel like a world major, it's not, I mean, I guess people do qualify for Boston Running Disney, but that wasn't my goal. So my goal was to PR the fun. So
Yes, and you did, I think.
I did. And so now, then there was like this nice kind of extended break, right? So I got to recover from all of that and start training again this summer. And then now New York is in November.
Yes, yes. So you're running
So
the New York City
soon.
Marathon. I know it is pretty soon. At the time of this recording,
So
we have a few months, but
Right.
yeah,
Right. But even that, it feels
it's
really, I mean, it's like 2 months.
it is soon. Yes. Yes. So tell us, now you're running for a very special team, a very special organization.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I'm running for Team AWF. I'm super, super excited about it. AWF is the Allison Whitney Foundation. They're based in the Northeast, and they provide cancer treatments, or they raise funds for cancer treatments for rare cancers, and for young people, which I think was really something that touched my heart. 16 to 36. So I no longer, sadly, fall in that window of age group. But I imagine being in your early 20s, you're starting your first job, and all of a sudden you're diagnosed, with some rare form of cancer. And so they provide this funding, which they call life interrupted grants. And the fundraising that we do for the marathon goes to support their grant program for these young people who need it because their life has been interrupted. And so I'm really proud to be part of it. I was so excited when they picked me to be on their team. And I've run for charities before, never for a marathon, but I've run smaller races before, 5K, 10Ks, and local races for other organizations. But this one, it feels really meaningful. I've learned so much about the organization because marathon training is a very long process, as you know.
Yes.
And I feel like I've spent a lot of time with them, learning about the organization and the services that they provide and the people that the funding has gone to. So it feels personal, and I'm
Yeah.
excited.
And yeah, of course I can get behind this as a pediatrician and well, as a human, honestly. It's just they do great work.
They do, right?
Yeah.
And there's lots of organizations that do great things. And there's a lot of organizations that have bibs for the New York Marathon and other ones, but this is one that really spoke to me. I'm the oldest of 4, and so I have siblings that were 10 years in between us. So I have siblings that fall within that window. I've had family members obviously touched by all kinds of different kinds of cancer. And so to me, like I said, it felt personal.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And since Jamie has found out about this, that she was running with this organization, she started raising money like immediately
Oh,
and
yeah.
surpassed the goal, whatever the goal was. I don't even know, but you have long passed that, which is
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, I hit my goal in 2 weeks,
See?
which was crazy, and like I said, I fundraised before, but this, like, it feels personal. And so I wanted to do something. Lots of people can post on social media. Lots of people can just ask their friends and family for money, but I'm artsy, and I'm crafty, I guess is the best way to put it, right? And I
Yes.
wanted to make things,
Mhm,
to symbolize, this journey that we're on, and things that I thought would be useful to patients and visiting hospitals. So I started beading pens, which, I actually started by making bracelets like everybody else this summer, anyone who's been to a Taylor Swift concert, right? But But I expanded that and I started making pens with beads on them. And it, oh, there you've got one.
I'm
You've got
showing one.
Mickey pens.
I have a
Yes.
Mickey pen.
Yeah, yeah, it goes with my Stitch. Oh, Basil.
Oh,
There he is, my little Stitchy pen.
adorable.
Right. And Disney characters, I don't know, they make me happy.
Yes.
So I ordered a bunch of the beads and went to work. And then I started sharing the pictures online. I started sharing them in Facebook groups. The ordering of the beads got a little out of hand. And so I started taking photos and posting them I made my own page. Apart from the fundraising page, just to have a place to store all the photos of all the beads and all the options, but you can personalize them. You can make them your own. And then things got really wild. We went beyond the pens and I started ordering other things that you could bead, like these are, these are
wine stoppers.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
that's
wine
fun.
stoppers. See, in my Swiftie era.
Yep, wine stoppers. And you have bookmarks too, right?
Yeah, bookmarks, keychains, all kinds of fun things. But I've dropped them off at hospitals. I've left them with nurses. I'm sure in your office, when you have littles around, they see Disney characters, it's a little less scary. So
They
yeah,
would like to steal all of my pens and things. Yes.
yes, I'd probably not safe for babies to put in their mouths, but they make me happy. And so I hope that when I make them for people, they make them happy too.
Well, they definitely make me happy, and my patients. So thank you.
Success.
But yeah, so we still have time. The marathon is coming, but it is not here yet. So tell everybody, where they can find out more about the Allison Whitney Foundation and how to grab a pen if they would like.
Love that. Okay, so if you want your own pen with your own favorite character or some other fun design, there's a zillion of them, but they are in albums, so they're organized like me. It's called Thingamabeads, which of course is, a fun Disney reference to Thingamabobs and Thingamabeads on Facebook, and you can find all information. There's also a link to the charity page on there, and all the different options, and hopefully something that makes you smile.
I love that. And I will leave the link below so everybody can just click over there.
Perfect.
I'm trying to think I want to ask you a question to leave this conversation on, but it's maybe a hard question. Why do you keep marathoning?
Oh, that's a good question. That's not a hard question. So I found running, some people have run all their lives. Some people have run, in school, they ran cross country or track. That was not me. I was never that person. I used to say the only way I was running anywhere is if someone was chasing me. But I found running when my oldest son was about 7. He was diagnosed with ADHD, and we met with his pediatrician, and they said, look, you have a couple options, and one of them could be medicine for the hyperactivity, and another option might be just some more physical fitness, because sometimes ADHD boys are kind of like golden retriever puppies, and they just need to be run a little bit. And I thought, you know what, maybe that would be good for both of us, right? So this is pre-pandemic. And so we started running races together, and it just became like the thing that we did together on the weekends. Like we would go out and we'd run a local 5K, and he got really fast, like much faster than me. He started running track for his school as he got older. I mean, he is an incredible athlete, and I have to train 10 times as hard just to try and keep up with him now. It's almost unfair, but we really enjoyed it because it was a thing that he and I just did together. His brother wasn't into it really, and my husband's not a runner, and so it was our thing. And then marathoning, running, it kind of escalates, right? You run a couple 5Ks, they call that like the gateway drug, and then, oh, I can do that. If you run 3 miles, you can run 6 miles, and then you run a 10K, and then you think, okay, well, that was great. Now I'll sign up for a Disney challenge and I'll run a half marathon. And then after that, there's really nothing else to do except train for a marathon. So after running a couple of the Disney challenges, I thought I would sign up for Dopey, which was a dopey idea. But now it's become a thing for me. Running has become like kind of like a moving meditation. You know, it's a time for, it's just me. I love to run at 5 a.m. I love when it's quiet. No one is demanding anything from me. No one at work, no one at home, no one. And the training has become something I really look forward to. It's quality time with myself. I do my best thinking when I am sweating and cursing out hills on my course and you know, and I just, there's a sense of I read something the other day that was like, you start your day doing the hardest thing and everything else seems a little bit easier. So if you start your day running 6 miles up a really nasty hill like I do, then maybe the rest of your day seems just a little less taxing on you, you know? And so running marathons, it's just one of those things where, like, if you had said to me 10 years ago that I would be training for my second world major, I would have fallen over. I would have just died, right? I never would have believed you. Because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the athlete. And my friends who knew me way back then are like shocked that I'm, you know, on this marathon journey. But I want to run. My big challenge I've set for myself right now is to run all 6 world majors. So after New York, we're looking at Berlin next fall. I'll try not to stack them all in one year for you because
thank you.
lose your mind and yell at me not to do that. But you know, you learn something after each race, and maybe this time I've learned that we shouldn't stack them on top of each other,
if possible. But
right. So I mean, I like a challenge, and for me, this is the next challenge. And who knows what maybe I'll run ultras.
Yeah, who knows?
Trail running, that's a thing, right?
Yeah, especially in Colorado, my dear.
Right. But I feel like I would spend the whole time staring at the ground, looking to make sure I don't trip over snakes.
Well, no, that was extremely insightful, and thank you for sharing so much of your personal life and story with us. I think it'll help others out there.
I mean, there's no downside to running. You know, you hear runners here all the time, like, oh, it's bad for your knees, or it's bad for, I don't know, whatever. It's not. The mental, the mental gains that you get, I think, outweigh everything else. So
yeah, sitting on your couch is much more dangerous for your knees, and so
right.
Anyway.
I mean, Lord knows, I'll probably sneeze and hurt myself more than I would running. So pull your back or something.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here, sharing your story, and for running for this wonderful foundation. And I can't wait for the next one so we could get an update.
Right? We'll keep you posted. We'll see what's next.
All right. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. And we will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. If you liked it, please subscribe and share it with a friend. And if you are a newer runner or a runner who hasn't run in a while and you're looking to get back into the sport, you can find out how to work with me over on my website, which is mindful-marathon.com. See you on the next episode.